Olympic news. James, you wanted to talk about this. I'll set it up.
Set it up for me,
International
bro.
outrage as Dutch volleyball player Steven van de Velde qualifies for the Olympics despite having raped a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, so I was actually on Instagram when I heard this, but it was back in what 2014 when that bullshit happened.
Yeah, I believe so.
And yeah, so this motherfucker like got convicted for that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He got a what was it, a 4-year prison or 6-year prison sentence? And I'm trying to figure out how, but they said he traveled to
He went to the
he
Netherlands.
transferred to the Netherlands and they let him do uh just a little bit under over a year and they released him.
Hmm.
And I know for a fact, I have read this before. They have said the prison systems in the United States are the harshest prison systems in the world. Well, one of them. I wouldn't say it's the worst, but when it comes to the Netherlands area, that little demographic,
Yeah,
they say
Dutch.
they focus on a lot of reform,
Yeah.
and the prisons are not that bad. It's like a very nice place to be
Yeah,
at.
they're like apartments for the most part.
Exactly. You feel me?
Inmates have access to like instruments. Like I think some of them can even own pets in some areas. Like yeah,
Yeah,
it's not like it's nowhere near like a prison here in the U.S. It's very
bro.
different. Yeah,
So you telling me he spent 13, 14 months basically at some summer camp.
yeah,
You feel me? And then he gets out, go to the Olympics, or they did he get qualified or
yeah,
did
yeah,
they do the
yeah. He went.
see
He did the qualifying there.
see? So now this motherfucker on the Olympic volleyball team, and who did they kick off? What's the old girl name?
Shakira Richardson.
Shakari Richardson.
For the weed, right?
Yeah, back
And
in
then they did,
2020.
yeah, and then they do the same thing to the Michael Phelps too.
No, Michael Phelps. It was. I mean, it was after. Like he wasn't
Oh, they try to
actually.
take his trophy away.
Yeah, yeah. It was after he had won the Olympic. I can't remember if it was between Olympics. I want to say it was, but it was like there's 4 gap years between each one. It
Yeah.
wasn't like he was actively preparing for the Olympics at that time,
Uh okay,
but
cool,
people
cool.
were upset about that. Yeah,
And which is something dumb as hell to be upset about.
yeah,
How the fuck do you put rape as a this is okay for us, and weed is a no go?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
And it's not
You
even
know what I'm saying? And
performance
this big Me
enhancing at
Too F
all.
movement, exactly. It to some people that slow your ass down. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So you got motherfuckers out here that in this movement of this happened to me, crucify everybody that did this and that, which rightfully so you should. But how the fuck do he get a pass though?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? To represent your country. That means your country don't got shit. Uh, they don't see nothing wrong with rape. That's
yeah,
how I look at it. If you're gonna represent the country in that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? And I just had to bring that shit up, bro, because like I don't know if this a race thing, where they looking out for people that look like them. Because it happened to remember that shit you told me, bro, on that
the
the fuck
swimmer
is that? No, the other is it the swimmer?
Brock Turner,
There
Yeah.
you
the
go.
Stanford rapist who
Yes,
raped a
that
girl behind a
motherfucker.
dumpster. Brock Turner.
Yeah. Yeah. Say his name again, bro. Fuck that bitch ass boy.
Yeah,
But yeah, like how the fuck do they keep getting away with this shit, bro?
yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's shitty because I mean I'm one of those that when it comes to the Olympics are one of my favorite like sporting events to watch. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember back in like 2008 was probably my favorite Olympics to watch because you could literally watch it 24/7, like no matter what time of day, something
Hmm.
live was being shown because it was in Beijing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
remember that
I
one.
remember
Yeah.
watching fucking the fencing qualifiers go down at like 3 a.m. I'm like, oh shit, like like there was always something to watch. So I mean, like I always like, especially like with the Americans that compete, like I think deservedly so, they're put up to a higher standard.
For sure,
Like
for sure.
I don't want people to say like, oh, here's so and so up for the 400-meter relay. By the way, the guy in lane 3, he did some fucked up shit. Well, I don't want that. So like it even bothered me when the NBA players didn't want to compete because they wanted to get paid more. They wanted to get paid to do it. And I was like, you should want to do it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a kind of like an honor to be picked to do it. you know.
For sure.
But I get there's a lot of money involved now, so that conversation has changed. But absolutely, weed is definitely one. Paris mentioned off air that it's already been relieved for the NCAA. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
they're taking it off of the banned substance list. So I mean, to me, I feel like it's going to be harder because you're talking about the International Olympic Committee. You're talking about numerous nations that compete, and they have different views on cannabis than the U.S. does. You know, so
Hmm.
I think we'll get there where cannabis is going to be, allowed as a substance that you can use if you're training or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea that smoking a joint gets persecuted more than actually causing harm to a minor,
Man.
that is insane. And I think we should be talking about this because like I feel like a lot of people. I mean, if it's not the U.S., I don't care. I'm not gonna like. What do I know about what's going on over there? You know.
Right.
But I feel like this
Hmm.
particular story, you're talking about international outrage of people like this is fucked. Like Netherlands, we're looking at you. You need to do something about this. You know.
Yeah, y'all some weird ass people, nah.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe in the coming weeks, like it'll be loud enough, and they're like, okay, we can't ignore this. Like he's a distraction to every other athlete that's competing with him and wearing a Netherland flag. You know. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah.
fucked up situation.
And then I was going to say, as far as the
Man.
cannabis, the only
Change the
thing I
subject.
can
Fuck
see
cannabis.
that's international is it can be a pain reliever. Like obviously that's the only
Yeah.
Or
thing. But if
anxiety.
you
Anxiety for sure.
yeah, so that's literally to keep you focused, I guess. So that's the only enhancement I can see cannabis doing. It's getting your mind right
Uh,
and focusing
that's
up.
not even the enhancement, bro. That's fucking Tylenol for pain reliever. But the anxiety part is just to give you that little edge off. That's all I feel like it is.
Mm.
Just a relaxation type of thing. I wouldn't
But
say
that's part of
any more,
sports too. Like
anything
if
close
you
to an
nervous,
enhancement.
yeah, if you nervous, that's part of the psyche of a professional athlete. You gotta shut all that shit out, and if you can't focus
Mm-hmm.
on your job, that's something that's gonna either make it or break it. Like especially in track and field, like you have to be like laser focused on that gun, and it's split second time. And if you nervous and if you jump off the line because you anxious, you get kicked out. They don't give you no second chances. So I mean,
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, for
but your
sure.
reaction time can also be slower too. So I mean, it's a double edged sword. So
Yeah.
Right.
who
I feel
knows?
like off season it's okay. During the season, don't do it.
Yeah, I feel like training it should be allowed. Like